As you guys probably know from my content, I'm a phlebotomist technician who is certified through ASCP by day. But currently, I've been unemployed, so now I've been working more on my own small business. And in this video, I'm creating something for my small business. I'm creating a collar, a dog collar. As you all know, small businesses are hard to get to grow. It's something that is progressive, and you have to really stay working at it in order to see results, and you may get discouraged at times because you don't see the results you want within the amount of time and you think you should. But I'm on here today to stay encouraged and stay working at something that you feel as if you work so hard for and that you really want to see thrive. I say don't give up just because you don't see results within the first year, second year, maybe even third year. Small business is one of those areas where it takes time for things to sometimes grow. You might find yourself in a situation where you want something to thrive and grow very fast. Like me right now, currently I'm unemployed, and the job market hasn't been the friendliest to me since 2020. But you gotta keep, your spirits up and your hope. You're gonna have your days where you're gonna cry but you have to find things to do within the day, whether it's to, sit outside for at least 10-15 minutes or take a walk or do a craft. Like me, I love making things for my small business, or even if it's just going to a movie by yourself or just sitting in your backyard watching the sunset. You have to find time in your day just to find things to do for yourself and take care of yourself. And then, when you fill up to it, find time to do things that are productive for your small business. But I'm on here to say don't give up. I know the job market out there isn't playing fair to many of us, but I just want you guys to stay optimistic and try to find other routes, that may work for you. And if they don't work immediately, give them time, and just set up a schedule of things to do throughout the day. Some affirmations for yourself and things for you to do every day to keep your day going throughout you, being unemployed and not being able to find work. Still apply to jobs, and don't feel down if, you don't get selected. You get that message that you don't get selected, and if you've applied to over hundreds of jobs and, you've haven't been selected or picked. Don't get yourself down. Just find something in that day to bring your spirits up, whether you have to lay down and watch a movie or whatever. But just keep hope alive and keep going. Everything will eventually add up. I also wanted to include that don't be scared to branch out and try new career paths. Even though most of us are trying to look for specific career paths that we are qualified for, don't be scared to try something new to earn some income. Money looks all the same across all different career paths. So don't be afraid to try something new. So don't be afraid to try Instacart, DoorDash, any of those pay by day, fast, cash jobs. This is not new to me. I actually just recently had a job. I was working for temp agency, Actalent. If you all are familiar with Actalent, I had applied at a position for a phlebotomist through Actalent. It was a contract, and I was working for them for Sonora Quest. I actually did an interview with the manager for the Sonora Quest near me, and she thought I was a suitable candidate for the position they had at a clinic. And actually, I ended up getting let go of that job. I was only there approximately about 2 months, and I just had got familiar with everything, and and then one day she walked in and told me that I was being let go, so that was an opportunity I thought was going to be a full-time position, because I was actually working per diem for another company that I've been at for 3 years, and I was told that I was going to be hired on full-time, so I actually let go of my per diem for sure job that I had been at for 3 years. I gave them my 2-week notice, and turns out I ended up not getting hired full-time at the other job after I resigned from my other job. So I ended up left with no job, and if I would have known I wasn't going to get hired on full-time through Sonora, I would have never let go of my per diem job at my other company as a phlebotomist. I would have found a way to keep it, because I was working Monday through Friday at the clinic, at the doctor's office. So, and the only days left open for me to work for my per diem job were the weekends, and there's not always weekends available. And per my contract, I was required to work 4 days a month, and it was kind of hard to fit those 4 days in with my schedule outside of my personal life and everything. So just for future reference, don't quit your for sure job for something that they tell you that they are going to hire you on, but you're not for sure. They're telling you, being honest. Don't quit your for sure job. Keep your little per diem. It might be per diem, but it might be actually the most stable job you have. So I'm going to let you guys watch my video and continue watching me make my dog collar. Hopefully you guys will click the link and buy one. They're beautiful necklaces, as you can see from the video. But bye for now. Although an interesting thing is that my last full-time employment that I had was my full-time job at Active Pharma Plasma before I got let go because of COVID. And that's actually the last time that I had full-time employment.